March is Sleep Awareness Month, the perfect time for you to think about the quality of your sleep and how the mattress you choose can make all the difference. Avocado Green Mattress is committed to providing mattresses that not only help you sleep better, but also are healthier for you and the planet. Did you know that with the right mattress, you can improve your sleep quality by up to 50%? If you're not waking up refreshed and ready to tackle the day, it might be time to consider Avocado and their sleep-enhancing design. Cyndi and I love Avocado for so many reasons. Not only are the materials organic and free of chemical and toxins, Avocado mattresses promote better sleep through breathable, naturally temperature-regulated materials, which is so important to our sleep right now. Did I mention there is a mattress to fit your needs too? Avocado offers gentle to firm to plush mattress comfort and support. Take their quiz to find out which mattress and comfort option is right for you. Avocado stands by their products too. They offer easy financing options with a firm, sleep trials up to 1 year, and options to try before you buy. Head to avocadomattress.com today and save up to 10% on certified organic mattresses. Dream of better.
Are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? If you're a woman, you're not alone. With over 1,000 hormone disruptors in our environment, it's no wonder things can feel out of balance. On top of that, natural changes like PMS, menopause, and other life stages can leave you feeling tired, irritable, and trapped in a constant battle with your body. But here's the good news. You don't have to suffer through it. Hormone Harmony by Happy Mammoth is here to help. This herbal formula fine-tunes your hormones, balancing estrogen, testosterone, and even stress hormones like cortisol, which can contribute to weight gain, racing thoughts, poor sleep, and more. With over 40,000 five-star reviews and a bottle selling every 24 seconds, the results speak for themselves. Ready to feel like yourself again? For a limited time, get 15% off your first order at happymammoth.com using code NEXTCHAPTER at checkout. Visit happymammoth.com today and get your old self back naturally.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to True Crime Time for Monday, March the 10th, 2025, and I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
We're back at it again, bringing you Crime Time, right? In Wisconsin, y'all, was in town all week last week, and so I wasn't doing a lot of social media, but they're gone. Very successful time. Love those boys. If y'all are listening, you know I love you. Thanks for everything that y'all did. It was awesome. All lifers, we love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. But they get tired of hearing me say that.
I don't think so. I think that they want to know that maybe they do, but
yeah, either way,
they're going to know that you love them.
Love and appreciate
That's
you.
Right.
And Patreon and convicts love and appreciate you. And
do you get tired of watching me wave at you going down the driveway?
No, it's just kind of tradition.
Okay, well then that's kind of what this would be for them.
So live show July the 19th. The tickets will go on sale next week, or is it the week after?
It's going to be the very beginning of the week after.
Okay, so stay tuned. We'll provide you with all the information you need to know about that. Right?
Yes.
Hashtag Justice for Haley. Y'all please continue to listen. A couple more weeks and we're going to do the call to action. Real Life, Real Crime Original, Scorch, State versus Scott Peterson. Not that far from being done. What an amazing shit show that case is. When the reason it's so scorched and it's still popular to this day.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to think some asshole's popular for what he did, but actually, it's because it's so scorched on both sides that we're still even talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's get down to some true crime time for Monday
the 10th, and I am going to take us to France.
Oh. It's time for Worldwide Crime.
So we're going to start off with a former surgeon
who
was 74 years old, and his name is Joel Le Scouarnec. I'm not going to say it with a French accent. but he's currently on trial in Brittany, France.
Okay.
Okay. And he's been accused of sexually abusing 299 patients.
Wait, then that makes him a...
It's time for Effed Up Professionals.
299.
At dozens of hospitals across the country throughout his career.
Right.
I wonder, I mean, like you always say, sometimes they know of wrongdoing from a professional. Let's just move them on down the road. I mean, I know the Catholic Church did it forever. I know police forces do it. I mean, I don't know either.
I don't believe anybody's totally turning a blind eye. Well, it's not like the church back in the day. I'm talking about now. How do you turn a blind eye if you have a sexual complaint?
Right. So almost all of the patients were children.
Oh, fuck him.
I mean, that's even just...
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's bad.
It's bad. He said, I was a surgeon who benefited from my status to attack children. I don't deny that.
Winner.
He said, I carried out my professional activity as well as I could, but at the same time, I carried out sexual assaults on little patients.
So he's admitting in the trial.
Yeah. He was a digestive surgeon who often operated on children with appendicitis.
Nice.
And he's, again, as we know, accused of sexually abusing his patients while they were under anesthesia in the post-surgery recovery rooms.
Where were the nurses at? Not their fault, but go.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously he couldn't do it during the surgeries because there's nurses, the anesthesiologist is there, and et cetera. So in post-recovery, I'm going to go in and take advantage of them.
Yeah.
So
and I've been looking at you the whole time, and you're on the table thinking what I'm going to do to you.
The sexual acts occurred between the years of 1989 and 2014. And soon after his retirement in 2017, police discovered notebooks in which the surgeon documented his sexual assaults.
Got to have it to relive it.
Right, because you always say they have some way, like a recording.
Almost as important as them to commit the act is to document in some way.
So he would write down the patient's initials next to accounts of his crimes. So he detailed it. So I guess so he could remember what horrible.
Yeah, he did 299 of them. He's got to keep them straight for his spank bang.
Yeah. So he is currently in jail after being found guilty in 2020 for his sexual abuse of 4 children. And his trial is the single largest child sexual abuse trial in France's history. The former surgeon's ex-wife, Marie France, testified that her ex-husband had hid his crimes from his family. She said, it's so huge, so unthinkable, inconceivable that my husband could have done all of that. The trial took another dramatic turn when soon afterwards he confessed. And he confessed to sexually assaulting a family member when the child's father was in the courtroom.
Oh, I wonder Daddy didn't get him.
So then, of course, authorities vowed to bring additional charges based on that confession. And so he, of course, he's expressed remorse for his actions throughout the trial.
He's sorry because he got caught.
He just committed heinous acts. He said, I owe it to all of these people and their loved ones to take responsibility for my actions and the consequences they may have had. Because Yeah,
well, he's never going to know the full extent, right?
But it's weird to me because he's confessed to it. But they say that the trial is going to last for several months, and he only faces 20 years in prison if convicted. If you've confessed, why are we at trial and why are...
Well, they said part of it, he confessed during the trial to bring new charges on that. I don't know. The Francis ship may be somewhat different than ours, but he's going to have a hard time, no pun intended, in prison, right?
Yeah.
Tossing salads and washing dirty drawers. And taking it where it shouldn't be took.
And to spring that on a family member in the courtroom, what do you...
I'm sure he got off on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's still sick.
Yeah. Oh, he's obviously always going to be sick.
Yeah.
So what a special piece of shit. And I hope they give him some French justice if they have any. I got a twofer for you.
Okay.
It's time for Worldwide Crime. You know, different airports are set up different ways naturally, right? Like this morning I went to the airport in Baton Rouge, relatively small, single pull-in lanes, single ticketing station, drop Shane off thing, but you still, you know, you have check in TSA and you go to your gate. You don't go outside and get on the plane is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like when we go to Belize, we get off the plane, it's outside, and you got to follow the yellow line, and they got guards and shit with machine guns and all that. Follow it all the way around and do that. So it's different everywhere, right? Well, we were going to Australia to a place called Avalon, right? And they had a 17-year-old boy who wanted to get on a Jetstar plane.
Okay.
And it was outside, right? You usually got a line when you're going outside. You got to show your ticket at the door, and they set you out to follow the line to get on, climb the stairs to get on the plane. But this little dude on Thursday, March 6th, he didn't want to wait in the line.
Oh.
And so what happened was he decided well, they got security fencing too. So you got to walk in to get on your shit, right? And he decides he is going to jump the security fence, but that's not the worst of his problems. And this is Australia's Avalon Airport. He was armed with a gun. 17 years old. So according to the press release from Victoria police officers who were called to the airport around 2:20 p.m. their time, the male had entered a commercial flight armed with a firearm. That's what they're responding to. Now he's on the plane. Okay. So it says 17-year-old boy was detained by crew and passengers on the flight. I bet they got some punches in. It said at this stage, officers believe the teen managed to get onto the tarmac after breaching the security fence. Police added that they located 2 bags and a vehicle belonging to the boy, and the bomb response unit were called to assist with the bags as a safety precaution, because who knows nowadays, right?
Right.
The boy is still in custody and will be interviewed by the police. But the Australia, not the American Broadcasting Company, reported that the boy boarded the Jetstar flight before being tackled by passengers to the ground. And it said he was detained by 3 passengers before the cops showed up. And Victoria Police Superintendent Michael Reed said, as he approached the plane, he mounted or climbed the front stairs to the front of the plane. At that point, passengers identified the male was carrying a firearm, right? Which is not readily seen in Australia.
No.
The male was overpowered by 3 of the passengers at least. And shortly afterwards, police arrived and taken that male into custody. But the cops did say that, thankfully, no one was injured during the incident except the boy. And the investigation is ongoing, but there is no threat to the community. But back to the ABC, the Australian Broadcasting Company, so they said the teen is from Victoria, Australia, and he was dressed in his high visibility clothing, similar to what the airport ground crew were wearing, right? So a little sneaky part of climbing over the fence
Kind
with a gun.
Premeditated. Yeah.
With a gun. So Barry Clark, his first passenger who tackled and disarmed the boy, told the ABC that he noticed the boy being questioned by a flight attendant. He said he was dressed up as a worker and he got agitated, and before we knew it, there was a gun. Shotgun. So not just a pistol.
Wow.
Okay? A shotgun appeared, and I was worried about there being shots. So all I could do was get the gun out of the way and threw it down the stairs, and then put a hold and throw him to the ground till the police came, Mr. Clark said. And he also said he had other apparatuses on him, so I didn't know what his full intention was. I mean, these days,
you don't know.
With a shotgun. Thank God somebody stopped before we got on the plane, because look, you shooting people on the plane, that's like shooting fish in a barrel, right?
You're right.
So in a photo shared by the ABC, the teen was photoed lying on the ground while being held down by other passengers. And they say the boy is likely to be charged with federal and state offenses, and police are reportedly not treating the case as a terror incident. I don't know.
That's kind of terroristic.
Yeah, I would think so, right? Did you know the first time the word terror was ever used on the air was during the Munich Games when they took the Israeli hostages in the Olympic Village?
Really?
I think it was ABC. They had like the sports coverage, and they only had one satellite back in the day. Mm-hmm. And so like ABC had such time slot, CBS had such time slot. And when it happened, they were trying to figure out what to call it. And like Peter Jennings was able to get inside the village, whatever. And they said terror. And Peter Jennings was like, don't say that word means this. But they went with it. It's been used since, right? But anyway, they said, of course, the airplane says the safety of our passengers, crew is our number one priority. And we can confirm there were no reported injuries. And we know this would have been a very distressing situation. And we are sincerely grateful to the customers who assisted our crew to safely manage it. And we are very thankful for them too, because nobody got killed.
No.
K-I-L-T.
My big question is, where was the plane going?
What the fuck does that matter? He wasn't going anywhere if the dude was going to blow it up.
Well, what was it worth for him? Why was he trying to do that? Where was he trying to get to? I want to know the rest of the story.
He wanted to kill people.
Can you be Paul Harvey and give me the rest of the story?
If I had it, I would.
Yeah.
I gave you everything Paul Harvey. I gave you every inch that Paul Harvey had. I didn't mean inch. I gave you all the news that I had to give.
Okay.
All right. So now it's your turn.
Well.
Can you guess how many times you've probably tried the latest diet craze? It's like I used to do Weight Watchers back in the day, counting the points. And the more you yo-yo diet, the more stubborn your fat gets. And then you're stuck like Chuck again. It's not about willpower. You've willed yourself through enough brutal diets and workouts. It's probably genetics, and doctors at Sono Bello can help determine if your body's problem areas are genetic. Wherever you have stubborn, diet-resistant fat and inches, Sono Bello's micro laser fat removal technology removes it for good in one comfortable visit. Those stubborn inches around your tummy are gone. Muffin tops, side fat, gone. Even saggy loose skin, gone. Permanently. All that's left are the beautiful natural curves you've been hoping to get. Warm weather is almost here. Now is the perfect time to visit Sono Bello and get your goal body in time for swimsuit season. Micro laser fat removal is the permanent solution, and Sono Bello doctors are the experts. Schedule your free consultation now and you'll get their best offer of the season. sonobello.com/RLRC. That's SONOBELLO.com/RLRC. This episode is sponsored by Midi Health. Cyndi struggled to lose weight for years, despite her efforts with dieting and exercising. Time and again, she would express that something else must be causing her weight gain, and she was right. The issue was her hormones. That's where Midi comes into play. Midi is a virtual care clinic dedicated to truly seeing, hearing, and understanding women. Created by women for women, their mission is to provide you with personalized care that addresses your unique health needs. Once Cyndi received the help she needed, she was prescribed semaglutide and successfully lost 60 pounds. Midi offers compounded semaglutide, which is a medication designed to assist with weight loss when combined with a healthy diet and exercise. Imagine achieving your goals without the stress of uncertainty. Plus, Midi's clinicians will support you every step of the way. Scheduling is simple. Take a few minutes to set up your account, enter your insurance, and share your symptoms. You'll be paired with a qualified clinician trained in perimenopause, menopause, and weight management. And don't forget, as a special offer, you can go to trymidi.com/real. That's trymidi.com/real to schedule your virtual visit and join the more than 200,000 women who love and trust Midi for their midlife care. Use my code SAVE15 to receive $15 off your first prescription product with your book visit. Transform your health journey with Midi today.
which goes with what I'm fixing to talk
Oh
about.
boy, is a sex story.
So a man.
Why are you being so dirty-minded?
Well, I'm not being dirty-minded. That was literally the best segue into this story.
Okay.
You don't even know what story it is. But
Right.
a 44-year-old Colorado man. So we're in Colorado. In Arapahoe County? It says that?
Mm-hmm.
Arapahoe?
Something like that.
Arapahoe?
Hey, you already messed it up one way. If you got it right the first time, then you messed up the other ones.
Yeah, well, somebody hopefully in Colorado can tell me the correct way of saying it. This 44-year-old Colorado man who sexually assaulted a teen girl has learned his fate for sexually assaulting her after claiming at trial that he could not in any way commit this crime.
Okay.
What do you think his response?
Erectile dysfunction.
Pretty close.
I don't know.
Well, it goes with inch. I gave you every inch.
I don't know.
Well, Woody, you got to play along. His genitalia was too small.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. He couldn't do it because he was short in his junk.
So what was funny about that is nobody can see. I have finally seen what a Cyndi look is. You just gave me a Cyndi look.
Yeah.
With the eyes. Anyway, this is not a funny story, but Brandon Robert Berg was sentenced to 80 years behind bars after being convicted of sexually assaulting a child and as being a person in a position of trust. Right. And aggravated incest and second-degree assault were also other charges. The victim was his 19-year-old stepdaughter.
There you go. But not a victim because he couldn't, his stuff was too small.
Wait till you hear the rest of the story.
Mm-hmm.
The 19-year-old stepdaughter told police in 2020 that she had been assaulted multiple times by her stepfather. She was 15 years old. And when police interviewed Berg about the allegations, Berg told officers he was unable to have sexual intercourse due to the size of his belly fat and the small size of his genitals. He also claimed that he had an alternate sexual orientation, which made him disinterested in the alleged conduct.
Yeah, I didn't do it because they're not my type, right?
Exactly. So the victim also accused Berg of physically abusing her, and she bore a 4-inch scar on her back that she said was a result of Berg scratching her with a fork. On another occasion, she says that he branded her arm with a knife that he heated up on the stovetop, and he etched in the letters R and B. The R.
There is nothing more painful than that. I've had the brand, and that shit hurt so bad it made me want to throw up.
I bet.
And this guy, when you get the knife hot like that, you got to continuously do a little bit and then get it hot again. So you're laying there just taking it.
But guess what the R stood for?
Rape.
Rebecca, which is her mother.
Whoa.
And Brandon, which is his name. So the victim in this case showed immense courage and bravery by speaking up. The Chief Deputy District Attorney, Jacob Crimmen, said she played an instrumental role in preserving evidence.
Yeah, it's Brandon.
But it gets even better with the evidence that she shared, that she saved. Rebecca Berg, her mother, was also convicted of aggravated incest and was sentenced to 4 years to life, followed by 20 years of sex offender intensive supervision. The victim said that the mother had sometimes joined Berg in abusing her.
There you go. Had those cases before.
The chief assistant DA said an array of ridiculous excuses. The couple's fate was sealed by DNA evidence preserved by the victim. She had called the police one day after Berg sexually assaulted her and preserved clothing containing DNA evidence that matched Berg.
Good for her.
Yep. So that is where that is at right now.
Crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
First time I ever heard that. I can't do it because I can't see my wiener because of my belly.
Yep.
And I don't like that. I don't like girls anyway, right?
I don't like girls.
Pretty sure that's not a defense that's going to work, you fucking asshole. So,
mm-hmm. But how brave that little girl was to think to keep the DNA, you know what I mean? Like,
totally agree with you on that. And it's just tragic and horrible and everything else. Well, we're going to go to New Jersey, and this is a horribly sad story, and it happened on March the 7th. Police detective Joseph Azcana was killed while on duty in New Jersey. And his mom is speaking out after his death. The authorities identified the New York police detective as Joseph Azcana as officer who was shot and killed by a 14-year-old while on duty Friday, March the 7th. Golly, it's hard. But a second police officer was also shot and remains in a hospital. So Azcana's mom, Martha Vargas, recalled her nephew calling her from the hospital where Azcana was brought before being pronounced dead. And he had to tell her about her son. And she said she didn't even initially realize the extent of his injury. She just thought he was in the hospital being shot. She said, I thought it was something simple. And when I went to the hospital, he was like that. They shot him in the head. That was my baby. He always said he wanted to be a cop when he was little. And when he grew up, he took the test. And he was always saying he wasn't in danger. Now, Azcana, it's Azcona.
Mm-hmm.
Azcana and the second officer were working on, as a part of the team of detectives and federal agents who were investigating illegal weapons when they were involved in the shootout between police and a large group on that March the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel Miranda, the New York's director of public safety, said that Azcana didn't even get a chance to step out of the vehicle before he was struck. So they were waiting on him.
Mm-hmm.
Shot him in the head. The 14-year-old suspect was arrested and charged with murder, attempted murder, possession of illegal weapons tied to the incidents, according to Essex County Prosecutor Theodore Stevens. He said, it's crazy. It's crazy. A young kid, and this is what Vargas told the Post, reacting to her son's killer. So sometimes you can blame the parents, sometimes you can't. You don't know what they're doing. You cannot blame them. She added, I don't blame the parents. Believe me. You know how the kids are when they get with their other kids. Look how young that dude was. And he was a detective. He's up and coming, right?
Right.
And so a bunch of other suspects are also taken into custody. And the Essex County Sheriff, Amir Jones, said, law enforcement officers leave their loved ones every day and put their lives on the line for the safety and well-being of our communities. The egregious acts that took place last night have left a family, a community, and the brotherhood and sisterhood of law enforcement devastated and with a void that can never be filled. Right? 14 years old. And I mean, they knew they were going to serve high risk shit because you're dealing with federal agencies, probably a task force, and they had information. They had warrants. Let's go get them. And, but these fuckers are waiting on them.
Yeah.
And just shot them up.
That's so sad.
So 14 years old.
So sad.
Yeah. Killed a guy who could have, a young detective who could have helped so many people.
Great things, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Rest in peace.
For sure. And she raised a hero, right?
Right. Yeah. Gotta, I don't know. They don't pay him enough, I can promise you.
No, they don't. Well, we're going to now, it's not going to, of course, you hate when I say this, but it's not going to get any better. We're going to go to Michigan.
All right.
A judge in Michigan has declared 3 little boys that went missing over a decade ago and they disappeared. He's finally declared them dead.
Okay.
So the skeleton it's spelled like skeleton, but without that E between the L and the T. So the Skeleton Boys is what they're referred to.
That's their name.
Exactly.
Not a reference to a body part.
Right. Skeleton Boys. Andrew, who was 9, Alexander, who was 7, and Tanner, who was 5.
Cop of me is wanting to know where the parents are.
Were legally declared deceased by a Lenawee County judge on Wednesday, March 5th. But the judge also declined to rule that the boys' father, John Skelton, had been responsible for their deaths.
Yeah, that's what my first instinct was.
Well, they were on Thanksgiving break with him, so it would,
I mean, they were young AF.
Right. And the investigators have long thought, that it was clear and convincing evidence that he was responsible for it, but obviously the judge didn't think they had enough.
Obviously not enough to get a warrant.
Exactly. So the information provided in the trial provides ample opportunity for speculation and theories, says the judge, Catherine Sala. But to make such a finding, the court would only be joining the voices offering such speculation and theory given the lack of information.
Mm-hmm.
The ruling came following a 3-day hearing on a 2023 request filed by the boy's mother, Tanya Zuvers. And that was, to declare them dead.
Yeah.
Zuvers was seeking a divorce from John at the time of the boy's disappearance. And the boys were spending Thanksgiving in November 2010 with their father in Morancini, Michigan, but were not returned to their mother the following day.
Another check.
Authorities later traced John's phone to Ohio early in the morning after Thanksgiving.
Another check.
Investigators searching John's home found a noose hanging from the second floor, a Bible open with a certain verse circled, and a note seemingly addressed to Zuvers. "You will hate me forever, and I know this." An FBI agent testified in court about that finding. Investigators found internet search history from John about how to break a neck.
Jeez Louise.
And then Larry Weeks, who was the police chief in 2010, is the one that told the judge, he testified to that. It's crazy. Weeks also said that John lied about the children's whereabouts during the investigation, and John was never charged in connection with the boy's death, but was sentenced to 15 years for failure to return the boys to the mother.
Right, so stop for a second.
We all know I love me some tacos. They're great every night of the week, not just Taco Tuesday. But Cyndi really wants me to eat healthier this year, and Factor's chef-made gourmet meals have made eating well easy. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for my busy lifestyle. With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goal. Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto, Factor has it all figured out. My favorite meal has been the jalapeno sweet corn polenta and chicken. Imagine a whole chicken breast marinated in lemon juice, garlic, and smoked paprika, grilled until juicy and topped with a zesty salsa verde. It's served over a creamy Parmesan polenta loaded with diced jalapenos, corn, mozzarella, and scallions. Bell peppers, red onions, and cauliflower are served on the side with fajita spiced butter. It was delicious and nutritious. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use Factor Podcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code FACTORPODCAST at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
Are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? I know Cyndi was, and if you're a woman, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living rent-free in our environment right now, found in our food, water, and even in our skincare products. These disruptors can wreak havoc on our hormones. Believe me, before Hormone Harmony, I watched Cyndi suffer. Not anymore. Hormone Harmony's formula, made only with herbal ingredients, have reduced Cyndi's hormonal symptoms, and it helps women of all ages. Then there are the natural hormonal changes our bodies face, such as menopause. While these processes are part of life, they don't have to be uncomfortable. The good news is that you don't have to suffer through it any longer.
Hormone Harmony contains science-backed herbal extracts known as adaptogens designed to help the body cope with stressors, including those chaotic hormonal fluctuations that can disrupt your daily life. Whether it's PMS symptoms like irritability and cravings or menopause symptoms such as hot flashes and night sweats, Hormone Harmony can help with it all. Happy Mammoth, the creator of Hormone Harmony, is dedicated to improving women's lives by using only high-quality science-backed ingredients. They make no compromises on quality, ensuring that you receive the best support possible. This isn't just a supplement. It has become a phenomenon. Women are talking about it everywhere, with a bottle of Hormone Harmony sold every 24 seconds. And the most important benefit, women express feeling like themselves again. A sentiment echoed in over 30,000 positive reviews. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com. Don't forget to use the code RLRC for 15% off today.
I don't know how in the F those dudes can sleep with themselves. I mean, I'm talking about law enforcement. Mm-hmm. Miss Barbara's case, I know. Miss Barbara Blunt's case, I know what I know, and I can't speculate because, probable cause and beyond a reasonable doubt are two totally different things in the court of law, and I get that. Mm-hmm. And murder charges never go away, and I get that. But just like on Haley's case, then you go back and listen to all the recorded episodes, the detectives, every one of them, and the prosecutor all say it was a murder. It was a homicide. But because of one technicality, which is on their part, they end up charging, with the bullshit charge. He got 11 years. Yeah. On concealing a body and whatever else it was. But that murder charge is still always open. I think about Miss Barbara every single day, and I pray that God lets somebody give it that one more piece of information so you can at least present it. Yeah. And now Haley's case is totally different. Mm-hmm. I mean, we know what happened. We know who was there and all that. But on this case, you got all that, the Bible verses, the notes, you're going to hate me forever. You got internet searches, didn't return them. And I'm sure you're going to tell me where he said they were or whatever. But I don't give a F, especially as 3 kids. Mm-hmm. That, if you don't have an investigator that can get the juice out of them motherfuckers, call somebody in that does. Exactly. And I couldn't do it. 10 years later, and he got 15 years for not returning the kids. Mm-hmm. Well, he returned them to the dirt. Exactly. And how do you not get the death penalty?
I don't know.
Tell me what.
That's all I got. That's the rest. That's the end of it.
I don't understand. Somebody fucked that up. You got 3 missing kids. You got all this evidence, and at some point, somebody missed something.
I don't think there's anything missing. Look at that. I mean,
yeah, there's missing. The bodies are missing. Well, the bodies, and the confession's missing. Somebody fucked it up, and they should have did what they had to do to get the juice.
That letter isn't a confession.
You got all kinds, just like in Haley's case, when they say they know it was murder, but they don't want to take it before a jury because the jury might not think whatever. Well, at a certain point, you got to roll the fucking dice. If you're never going to get anything else, now Miss Barbara Blunt's is different because it's just not. But on a case like that, of course, I don't know all of it, but the dude's, he's gone and different states and all the shit he left behind. There would be no, write that case down. I want to look it up. Okay. I want to look it up, and we might do that one on Scorch, try to reach out to that family and try to find something out, because that's the kind of shit that just blows my mind. Mm-hmm. And as an old cop would drive me, my OCD, fuck me. I would never be able to rest until.
Well, I was just going to ask you real quick. What was the case that you worked where they weren't going to take the charges, or they weren't going to do?
It was fucking David Christina.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
And I went in there and I laid it out anyway to the grand jury, even though they told me don't do it. I said, you can take my fucking gun and badge. I did it anyway. And we got him 4 life sentences.
Exactly.
I mean, fuck, people on a jury hear shit like that. Yeah, I'm like you. That would be enough for me. Yeah. I'm on the jury, but the judge, whatever. Give me.
Well, one more question.
I don't want to keep going because I'm just going to get more pissed off.
What is this is new to me, and it's probably a normal thing in your world, but getting different charges just to get them in jail, just give them something.
I do that all the time.
Okay.
I mean, I did that. Mark Lewis. I told bullshit charges to hold him long enough to try to find a body and build the case.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they did on Haley's case. Bullshit charges to get him in jail till you build your case. But motherfucker, build your case. You know, find a body, do something. Fuck me. I want to know about that. And if any of your lifers are out there from Michigan and you have information on the case, let me know, please. That's the kind of shit that
gets you fired
literally
up.
Makes me get up in the mornings.
Yeah.
And I believe we're going to do it on Haley's. It's simply a matter of bringing enough pressure to say, hey, all they want you to do is try it. If you lose it, so be it. Even in this case, at least try the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, I'm going to tell you what should happen to assholes like that. And Louisiana, you know, is under Governor Landry, has brought back the death penalty in full force and about to execute the first one. I believe it's this week. And of course they're fighting it or whatever. The first one to be executed was going to be last week, and he died of natural causes like 2 days before they did whatever they were going to do to him. But I always love the different kinds of methods of execution.
Right.
And I mean, y'all, I don't care if you're for the death penalty or not. I'm 1000% for it. I don't mind 20 years of appeals. I don't mind you making sure the motherfucker's innocent.
Right.
But if they did it, these are not drive-by shootings. These are rapes and murders and tortures and shit like that. I mean, shit that's so heinous it just shocks your senses. It warrants the ultimate penalty. Now, in the United States, like in Louisiana back in the day, when they started electrocution, they had a big flatbed truck with a big generator on it and old Sparky mounted to it. And they would take it to whatever jurisdiction you got convicted of the crime in, and they would electrocute you on the courthouse square, which the first one was right here in Livingston Parish. So that was one. And then they, in the 70s, they said whatever, and then they swapped to whatever method, and, lethal injection, and California went to gas and whatever the fuck. But my all-time favorite has always been firing squads. Yeah. Right? That's the shit you see back in the 80s.
I thought you were going to say the guillotine.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one too. But that wasn't used in the United States.
No, it definitely wasn't.
My all-time favorite used in the United States is a firing squad. And you wouldn't think, because like Utah is so religious and shit. And when I lived in Salt Lake City, they didn't like have bar rooms. They had private clubs. You had to pay to become a member. And then the alcohol was half the amount of alcohol and all that stuff. But they don't fucking play in Utah. And one of their methods of execution has always been the firing squad. And they are the only state I think that's used in like the last 20 years. They've only used it like 3 times. Wow. But now we got a new player stepped up to the plate. And it is South Carolina. And this gentleman, Brad Sigmund, and he was convicted for burglary and murder. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you all about it. So you think burglary and murder, that's not that bad, right? I mean, break in,
another day at the office,
do a little burglary, kill somebody, send them to prison for life, whatever. But let me tell you why it's bad. Yeah. But let me tell you what he had to say also. So South Carolina man who recently became the first person in the United States to be executed by a firing squad in 15 years. They brought him in, lined him up, get ready to do it. You got any last words? Well, he did. So Brad Sigmund was executed by the firing squad on Friday, March the 7th, according to the South Carolina Department of Corrections, the SCDC. So he's 67 years old now because he's been on death row forever. I guess, 20 years. The 67-year-old was pronounced dead at the Broad River Correctional Institution in Columbia at 6:08 p.m. local time, which fulfilled his 2002 death sentence for the burglary and the 2001 bludgeoning. That's another word I need to know the origin of. 2001 bludgeoning deaths, plural, of David and Gladys Lark, who were his ex-girlfriend's parents. Okay.
Okay.
So Sigmund killed the couple in their South Carolina home with a baseball bat.
Oh my gosh.
Right? He beat them to death with a fucking baseball bat. And he later told the cops that he had planned on killing their daughter as well.
It's
right?
just evil.
But, before his death, Sigmund's attorney read his last statement with witnesses to the execution, which included 3 of relatives of the victims and Sigmund's spiritual advisor, among some members of the media and shit. And this is what his statement was. You ready?
Yep.
I want my closing statement to be one of love and a calling to my fellow Christians to help us end the death penalty. An eye for an eye was used as justification to the jury for seeking the death penalty. At that time, I was too ignorant to know how wrong that was.
At 47 years old?
Wait.
Sorry.
Why? Because we no longer live under the Old Testament law, but now live under the New Testament. He then went on to quote numerous other Bible scriptures. Prior to his execution on March 7th, Sigmund had a final meal. This is just fucking stupid to me. He had a final meal of fried chicken, green beans, mashed potatoes with gravy and biscuits, cheesecake, and sweet tea. And it was served him on March 5th. But Sigmund chose the firing squad over the 2 other state-approved methods of execution, which are lethal injection and electric chair. And why explain this decision? Well, his lawyer said he thought the chair would cook him alive, and he feared that the fluid and blood sent into his lungs via the injection would drown him. This motherfucker had way too much. The people that he beat to death,
he shouldn't have an option.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you getting an option?
Well, the day before his execution, Sigmund asked the South Carolina Supreme Court to pause his execution because the details of the state's lethal injection method are secret. But it was to no avail. People also protested his execution on March 7th, gathering outside the Columbia prison with signs urging the state to end the death penalty. The state should have had the pictures of the victims' brains smashed all over the walls on the fence, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm really thinking I'm going up to Angola. I'll be on the right side of the fence when they do this next motherfucker. But I'm going to wait till they get that guy from Livingston Parish that him and his lover raped and murdered a little boy. I'm going for that one. But anyway, there have only been 3 other people executed using the firing squad in the United States since 1977. And 1977 is when they reinstated the death penalty. And the most recent was Ronnie Lee Gardner in 2010. Now, all 3 of those deaths, like I told you, occurred in Utah. And another prisoner from the state, Ralph Menzies, is slated to be next, but his lawyers are currently arguing that his dementia makes him unfit for execution. So the special kind of evil. Now, think about this. I was thinking about it last night. Shane stayed and I'll tell you what. So WL came down and he said, I heard gunfire. And we live on the river. We live in the woods. And they were probably shooting hogs or something, right? It was boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Boom, 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 right? Recites. And I knew what it was. WL came down and he knocked the door. The door said, can you see who's at the back door? I'm like, better not be anybody at the back fucking door, right?
Yeah.
But think about that. And I think about every night. If I go outside or whatever and knock on woods, and being honest, most of the time we don't lock the doors. And I think about if you woke up in the middle of the night and somebody's beating your brains out.
Yeah.
I mean, it could happen. It happens all the time.
Well, it could happen with the door.
This one was because he didn't want, he was going to kill his girlfriend too, but he killed the parents instead. And so the burglary, y'all, that's a common, not a trick, but it's a common thing you use. Like in the state of Louisiana, you get aggravated burglary and you don't have to steal anything. is if you break into a home and then you commit another felony besides the break-in, right? So you break in, you stab somebody, you beat them to death like this. So you catch the burglary charge too, on top of the other charges. Okay. But and I think about, if I give them a pistol in time, then I'm thinking about, better just lock the fucking door. And then I think about, a lock keeps an honest man honest. I mean, they want to kill me. The house is glass. So, yeah, right. Lock keeps an honest man honest. Thank God I'm a light sleeper. And if you're coming in, we're going to feed you some lead. Yeah. We'll be the best hostess in the yeah, like South Carolina. We will give you a lead diet, and we'll be the best host in the world as far as feeding you a lead dinner. Yeah. Right. I mean, so I hate it. I hate it for the people. The death penalty. It's too bad, y'all. I know so many people are against, I'm against wrongful conviction. They say certain people have been put to death incorrectly. I get that, but doesn't mean that the ultimate, he was like, we don't live in Old Testament times. Motherfucker, the law was written. And he didn't know better. The law is, right. The law is the law. You were in your 40s when you did this. But he didn't know better. And you not only did that, you admitted to the cops, I'm going to kill her too. Yeah. Yeah. So, and they killed you. He got to choose what method he wanted to die. Yeah. I don't want him to spark me up. Yeah. And I don't want to drown in my fluids. So I just catch the bullet. So listeners know real quick and then we'll go. Because I looked it up in South Carolina, they put 3 people. That was my question. 3 people, 3 volunteer correctional officers, his names aren't released, and they give them 3 rifles and they all shoot at the same time. One bullet, that's all they get? At the heart. But now, if I'm not mistaken, how it used to be in Utah way back in the day, they did it through a wall, and so you couldn't see the faces of the executioners. Yeah. And I think they used more than 3, but one of the weapons had blanks. So you didn't know if you were actually the one. Your gun's still going to go off and it's going to move and everything. Oh. So you don't have to carry the guilt with you of actually being the one that killed. Okay. I have no fucking problem with doing that. Well, I would shoot him in the groin area. No, I would shoot his arm and I would shoot. You're exactly the reason why they have protocols. They deserve it. I know they do. You're the reason they have protocols. Yes. That they put the X over the heart, right? So that's it. That's enough true crime time for Monday, March the 10th. And we got some stuff coming up. I think it's April. Let me look this up real quick. Y'all, Kool-Aid, I know you're listening. This has been in the works for a while, and he just confirmed the 8th of April, I'm going to be doing a celebrity bartending, and I'll get the final details. It's going to be during an LSU baseball game, and it's going to be at the Walk-Ons in Zachary, Louisiana. And my friend Kool-Aid, who y'all have heard me talk about, that's what we called him in the academy because he was the youngest guy. Now he's the chief of detectives for East Feliciana. Kevin Garrett, good dude, good cop. He and I are going to bartend, and all the tips go to the Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency. So you want me to pour you a beer or pop a top for you? May I have to drink 1 or 2? I don't know. But it's, walk-ons are always super, super, super busy. And this one, it's going to be a weekday. Let me look that up. April 8th. Could be during the middle of the week. I know that. So it's a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. All right. But it'll be a good time. And all proceeds go to Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency. It's my jam. All the tips. Yes. Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. Proceeds from the tips. Well, okay. Yeah. And we're going to do that. And again, July the 19th, new live, raw and unscripted, new venue. And it's going to be something. And then wait till you hear all the details. I'm so excited. These professionals that are putting this on are amazing people, and we love them. and we're thankful for the opportunity. And of course, Patreon and Convicts, you will get your 48-hour advance notice. You get to buy your tickets before anybody else. So, Patreon Convicts, thank you. You've been getting a plethora of early releases and bonus materials and everything else. If you want to check it out, you can go to patreon.com, type in Real Life Real Crime, or go to the Real Life Real Crime community app, download it for free, and go under and search the tier levels under Convicts. That's our affectionate term for our subscribers through that. And I just love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you for Leah Marie for all of the plethora. I had 128 stories the other morning when I woke up at the hunting camp.
Wow.
Yeah, she said, sorry for blowing your shit up last night. But I like to read them and everything. Thank you, Leah Marie, and thank you, everybody. Let's get out of here.
All right.
And I'm saying this is the close of True Crime Time for Monday, March the 10th. And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Cyndi Overton.
And we'll holler at y'all later. Peace.
At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 300 programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.